Anyway.
While we're on that topic, you want to have the conversation about Keone?
What happened with Keone? Oh, not joining Olympia?
Yeah.
I actually wanted to. I don't know Keone well enough, but I wanted to message him and tell him he's making a mistake.
Yeah.
I've said this to numerous people on this podcast. The only mistake I made was not doing all the Olympias I qualified for.
Yeah.
And I know what he said. He said it, and the craziest thing was in his fucking video. He says, "I'm still young. It doesn't matter. There's going to be lots of Olympias, and there probably will be, and he's
already been to the Olympia. So.
Yeah, and he's already been to the Olympia. He's a phenomenal bodybuilder, so he knows what it feels like and all that. But I really feel like, and maybe this is just my own personal accomplishment thing, but like, I really feel like there's a pride in saying I did the Olympia 10 times, even if you were 10th place every time.
Yeah, I agree.
Just saying I did the Olympia 10 times is like gives you a new, like a respect, a new credibility.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So
yeah, it's tough. I mean, I really don't know. Like, this would obviously be the conversation we need to get, like, more of the backstory of why he actually decided not to do it. I mean, you know, you're saying personal issues. It's like, you know, you're fucking having a kid in 2 weeks, or your fucking mom's dying, or like, you know, something really serious. But if it's just like, hey, I'm burnt out mentally and I don't think I'll be at my best, I don't agree with that decision.
But I've been there too, though, and I've tried to force shows. Like, there was one Arnold I tried to force when I knew I shouldn't have done it.
Melissa did this 2019, came dead last.
Yeah. So that's also like, from a fan's perspective, you're like, oh, you're an idiot, you should do it. But from a competitor's perspective, I'm like, I've tried to force shows before and it doesn't work well.
I understand. I wouldn't have understood that until I saw Melissa go through it. And even going into that Arnold, I told her not to do the Arnold. I didn't think it was a good decision. She had done like 5 shows in 2019 or 2018. She'd done the Olympia, and then we got married right in November there. And then she basically went from like getting married and 5 shows right into just prepping for the Arnold again. She'd done like 365 days of prep. And I was like, look, I don't think this is a good idea. Just like chill, you know, there's going to be other Arnolds, you know, do, you know, Toronto or do something in the spring, or, you know, try and maybe apply for Australia. But she pushed through that prep, and obviously, I mean, you know, it didn't work out too great for her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, obviously there is something to be said for pushing through preps like that. That isn't necessarily a good idea.
I guess that's the distinction I'll make is as a fan, it's upsetting because you're like, just do the show, man. I want to see you compete. But as a bodybuilder and a competitor, I'm like,
yeah. See, but
I've been there.
He just competed. He's already in shape.
It doesn't matter.
You don't think it matters?
Honestly,
I 3 more weeks when you're already in shape, that's not that bad, you know?
Honestly, man, it's really easy to be the person on the outside.
Absolutely.
Saying just do it.
I don't know the circumstances, so I'm not like saying he should or shouldn't. I mean, it's very hard to say, you know, not knowing all the details. And I mean, I like Keone, and I trust that he made the decision that was best for him and his family and everything like that. So I don't really have an issue with it. But like you said, I mean, this might be one of those things you really got to think to yourself when you retire in 15, 10 years, whatever. Is this going to be something that you look back and be like, shit, I wish I'd done that, you know?
There's something, too, to be said for showing up is not enough when you're Keone Person.
Yeah.
Because he's not just some fucking regular 212 guy. Like, this is
he's expected to be in the mix.
He's expected to one day be the guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think it does him any service to show up at the show and be like 50% and everybody laugh at him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a reputation and a standard to uphold.
Why would you be at 50%? Is this just because you're tired mentally and don't think you can push through it? It's like
even if
comes down to the reasoning behind it for me.
But you know what? Let's say that is the reason. I think people are too judgmental and saying, you know, everybody's got their own strengths.
I agree.
So like, let's say Keone was perfectly honest and he came out and said, look, I don't have any family problems. I don't have any health problems. I'm just fucking tired.
Yeah. No, I agree. I got a lot of flack too. Like, and this came up in a conversation yesterday too. Like, when after Tampa prejudging, when I was getting fucking lit up online, I deleted my Instagram for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, people could say like, blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, just don't look at your phone or whatever. But for me, that was something I felt I needed to do. You know, and maybe other people wouldn't have done it and don't agree with it, but that's for me I thought was the best decision. So, I mean, maybe for him, it's the same thing. I mean, people might not agree with it, but from his perspective, he's making the right decision for himself. And that's really what he feels he needs to do, right?
I think we all have the one thing this podcast has taught me is we all think we're working hard, but some people are fucking made differently.
Yeah.
Right. Like for example, if I was James, I wouldn't be competing.
Yeah.
I would be like, I just crushed that fucking show.
Yeah.
I showed everybody what I was made of. I proved exactly what I wanted to prove. I'm going to fucking rest, or I'm going to get ready for the Olympia. I wouldn't be doing just another show for the sake of it. But that's James. I mean, he's that like driven and whatever. He's got that. So, I mean, Keone's just like, look, I'm 25 or whatever he is, 26. He's like, I don't care. I'm tired. I don't want to do it, and I'll do it when I'm ready to do it. And I don't think anybody, even if he doesn't even have a fucking reason, even just like, look, you know what? I feel like I want to have a good Christmas. I don't want to worry about it.
I can agree with that.
It's his call. It's like, it's not anybody else's decision to say he's shit or he's lazy.
The only people that are upset are, like you said, are going to be fans that just want to see him on stage. You know, other than that, it's a personal decision that it's kind of is what it is, right?
I think, you know, I was really shocked when I had to pull out of the show for health reasons, but I think people should have the same. I was shocked at people's demeanor towards me because they were all very, very positive. Like everybody.
Positive response, yeah.
Dude, there was like 4 people out of like 3,000 that were like, you're a fucking loser, you're lazy. Everybody else was like, but I had to have health issues before people were like that. I wish people were like that anyways. Like Keone should just be able to say, I'm tired, I need a break. And people could be like,
I'll give the response to it is, for him, I've been like seeing it online, is not completely negative. There's a lot of people being like, yo, it's his life, he's making the right decision for himself, like who fucking cares what the reason is. And that is a large majority. I don't think it is majority negative. I think it is a good mix. You know, but I mean, it's a tough spot to be in for him for sure. I mean, especially when, you know, everyone after, you know, Chicago had, you know, wanted to see him there and thought he'd be up in the mix for a win, blah, 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 stuff like that. So I think it's just a fan disappointment thing that's really driving any negative comments, you know?
You know, I think fans are so much better now. They have access to us every day.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you would only get to see Keone on stage. So if he didn't compete, you're like, fuck, I don't get to see my favorite guy now. And you'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
He's still going to be making videos every day and posts every day. So it's like, I think there's maybe less anticipation for someone to compete because they still have connection.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I don't know. I think it's okay. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.